An old axiom suggests, as the heavyweights go, so goes boxing. This year, that division reached its lowest point in decades. James Toney tested positive for steroids immediately after his win over John Ruiz. Mike Tyson's career continued its cosmic downward spiral, while injuries forced Vitali Klitschko into retirement. But as the big men continued to frustrate us, it was the fights and fighters from every other level of the scale who carried the sport on their backs and dominated the headlines in 2005.
Pacquiao lands his left-hand flank. And again, and the blinding speed of Pacquiao's apparent, and Morales chases him across the ring and says, let's fight. There's nowhere else in sport you'll find greater passion, greater courage, greater sheer guts than what these two guys are showing. This is boxing at its best.
It was on. Did you like that?
I love it. Gracias. Gracias.
Unquestionably, the year's most crowd-pleasing affair was the lightweight unification showdown between Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales. That pitched battle reached its climax in round 10, when Corrales, down twice, seemingly on the brink of defeat, snatched an improbable TKO victory. In 2005, Antonio Tarver finally emerged as the top light heavyweight in the world, his campaign culminating in part 3 of his trilogy with the once great Roy Jones.
This is what I would call the last chapter.
You gotta make it a dogfight with this guy, okay? He don't want to fight.
Oh,
right up.
He's badly stunned now. Jones is momentarily stiff-legged.
Yeah, Roy should definitely take a risk. He's got everything to gain and nothing to lose.
It's just not in him, it appears.
I am one of the best fighters in the world. Give me my credit.
Jones was the most gifted fighter of his generation. Ready to assume that mantle now is the game's purest talent, who faced Arturo Gatti in the biggest fight of his career.
Pretty boy Floyd, I'm the best, the creme de la creme. Can't beat me, they better join me.
Combinations by Mayweather. Too much speed. Maybe too much power, too. Floyd Mayweather promised exactly this. He promised he would humiliate Arturo Gatti before his fans.
You stopping it, baby. You stopping it.
They're stopping it, and thank heaven.
This year saw 2 different divisions undergo instant facelifts in front of partisan hometown crowds. Zab Judah became welterweight champion when he spoiled Corey Spink's St. Louis homecoming before a record St. Louis crowd, while the people of Manchester, England watched in rapture as native son Ricky Hatton forced 140-pound King Costa Tszyu to quit on his stool.
The dream is made real. Ricky Hatton rocks the world.
A transformation of a different sort also took place at 140 pounds, as Puerto Rican star Miguel Cotto went from can't-miss champion of tomorrow to boxing's next action hero.
He gets ripped again, and down goes Miguel Cotto. Now it's Torres who wobbles after a right hand by Cotto. Oh, Cotto badly hurt with a right hand that busted him straight on the top. Cotto catching Torres on the end of a punch again, and down goes Ricardo Torres. And referee David Fields is going to stop it.
While Cotto's imperfections may have won over a new legion of admirers, 2005's most flawless performance marked the end of an era for another of Puerto Rico's favorite sons.
He's not just controlling Tito with the jab. There are moments when he's humiliating him with it. And he sticks the jab in Trinidad's face 1, 2, 3, 4 more times.
You're making this fight so one-sided, man. Keep it up.
Winky Wright has dominated Felix Trinidad, if anything, even more than Bernard Hopkins did. Wright looks around at the crowd as if to say, do you know me now?
For 10 years, the indomitable Bernard Hopkins ruled the middleweight division. But that all changed this past summer when he faced the heir apparent to his throne.
Taylor has seized the crowd. The sheer physicality of Jermaine Taylor is keeping Bernard Hopkins on the defensive. Oh, it's caught with a big right hand. That may be the punch that can turn it around for Hopkins. Taylor holding on.
Now give it everything you got.
Taylor is slightly wobbly now. Can the old man pull it out?
And new undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
They did this to a fighter of my stature. It was wrong.
You lost, take your loss like a man, come back and do better.
4.5 months later, they did do it again.
Big right hand for Taylor. The kid is showing guts. Hard right hand by Hopkins. Now that's a Hopkins round. Right hand landed for Taylor. And another one. Sudden rally for the Arkansas kid. Jermaine Taylor now has 2 wins over Bernard Hopkins. Imagine that.
As we celebrate the achievements of today's ring warriors, we honor the memories of those who left us in 2005. Levander Johnson passed away from injuries suffered in his fight with Jesus Chavez, while former contenders Julian Letterlow and Agapito Sanchez both fell victim to violence outside the ring. Jimmy Young is best remembered for temporarily halting George Foreman's career. And former heavyweight champion Max Schmeling, whose bouts with Joe Louis were 2 of the most significant prize fights of the 20th century, remained a memorable figure well into his 90s. The accomplishments of today's heavyweights hardly inspire the same kind of worship. If 2005 has taught us anything, it's that boxing's big men no longer represent the sport's true identity. That honor belongs to the fighters who turned an old axiom on its head and elevated the sport onto their shoulders.
As trainer of the gifted heavyweight